Hello everyone. I'm starting a new series where I will walk you through how I design a fully functional iPhone case in Fusion 360 from the first sketch to the final 3D print using TPU. I will be following the specifications from the accessory design guideline for Apple devices and using the iPhone 15 Pro Max as an example. By the end of this series, you should be able to design a case for any iPhone model. In today's video, we will focusing on completing the main body of the iPhone and sketching out the side buttons and lastly, the cutouts for the bottom openings. Let's create a new file in Fusion 360 and we will sketch the iPhone body from the front panel. We go to Create, Rectangle, and draw a rectangle here. Then we use the dimension tool to specify the product width and length. Let me move this view a little bit. I want this rectangle to be symmetrical, so I create two construction lines to help me to align with the origin. When you draw the line, you need to make sure you see the small triangle. That's the center point of the line. Finally, we apply a coincidence constraint between the origin and the construction lines. To finish it up, we double check the numbers. Let's finish the sketch and extrude the body. Here we put the product thickness number here, which is 8.25. Okay, that's it for now. We will leave the corner profile for later. Before moving on, I'd like to give these components more meaningful names to avoid confusion with others. I strongly recommend you do the same. Next, we will draw the right side button and extrude it from the body. Let's create a new sketch on the right face. This time, we will use the overall slot tool. Don't worry about the dimensions, we will do it later. Let me zoom in a little bit. From the center of this line to the top of the edge should be 56.17. The length of this button is 2 times 8.85. And the width is 2.66. And finally, the center of this button to the bottom is 4.12. Take your time to check all these numbers to make sure they are all correct. I'm also used this opportunity to refine the layout. We can finish the sketch once it's done. It's time to extrude this button. We pull out a distance of 0.45 according to the spec. That's the button. Similarly, let's give these components better names. Once this is done, let's switch the view to the left side. Again, let's create a new sketch on the left side. As you can see, all these shapes are same as the right buttons. So again, we use the overall slot tool. Let's draw 3 of them here. Again, we will use our good friend dimension tool here. From the center of this action button to the top of the edge is 31.67. Let's do the same for the volume buttons so they stay in the expected position. The length of the 2 buttons are the same. It's 2 times 5.6. The action button is shorter, which is 2 times 3.02. Let's zoom in a little bit so we can put the width of these buttons in. The number we need here is 2.66. From the bottom to the center of these buttons is 4.12. Let's set it up one by one. Lastly, I will also do some layout work. As always, I will use this opportunity to compare these numbers and make sure they all correct. Now I'm happy with it. Let's finish the sketch. I'm checking around and it looks all good. Let's click on the extrude button. For the profiles, we select all the shapes from the sketch and we put 0.45 as the distance. I'll quickly rename the sketch and extrude operation to left side buttons. Once you are okay with that, let's move on to the last step of this video. We will need to create a new sketch and draw the bottom openings. Make sure you zoom in enough for drawing the small holes. By following the spec, let's create a circle with a diameter of 1.35. Its distance to the edge is 20.4. And to the bottom is 4.12. You can draw these holes one by one, but here I'm going to use the rectangular pattern tool. For easier calculation, I'm using spacing for the distribution, and I set the direction as one direction from left to right. Let's double check and measure the last hole and make sure it follows the spec. We repeat the process to draw the rest of the openings. If you have questions, you can pause or slow down the video to check the detail. The last opening is for the USB connector. Again, we will use the overall slot tool. Let's roughly place it here and then specify the dimension. If you grab a USB-C cable, you will see there's a thicker part around the metal tip. We need to include that area in the drawing so the phone case in our design later does not block it. The radius is 3.25. As you can see in the spec, the recommended connector keep out is 12.45. Let's draw a construction line on the center of the USB-C opening so that we can use the coincident tool to align the two profiles. And then I will quickly move things around and compare these numbers. Now I'm happy with it. Let's finish the sketch. Let's move things around and extrude the openings. We just need to set a small distance here so that we know their position for the phone case design. Okay, that's it. Looking all good. That's all for today's video. And by the way, don't forget to rename these components. We will cover the camera module and edge profile in my next video. Thanks for watching and have a good one.